All right, this is Danavan Hylton representing Express Employment Professionals. Excuse me, and we are here with the Express team. Let's go ahead and get them on camera. All right, got the Express team here, and we are here. Got all the information.
And myself.
And we have Danavan in the back on the cameras on the 1 and 2. So we are here at the Magruder Family Resource Center getting ready to discuss as we represent Express Employment Professionals, a staffing company in Nashville, located in Metro Center, but they serve the North Davidson County side of town, downtown North Nashville, East Nashville, Madison, White Creek, and Jolton. So we're going to go into this event today discussing workplace bullying in regards to those with a criminal background for Workplace Bullying Awareness Month. This is hosted by Miss Arlene Norman and also Terrance Atkins. Let's go in here and check it out. Follow me.
Thank you for this food sent from the Christ. Amen.
Wait a minute. I love him. What that short and sweet.
All right, so we are inside getting ready for the workplace bullying awareness conversation, especially when it comes to relations with those that have a criminal background in the workplace. So we're here, and right behind us, if you capture the picture real quick, we have some, right here in this group right here, we have some serious movers and shakers. We're going to see if we can bust into that party and see if we can find out more about them. Follow me.
About that, and I was make sure you get the channel. I was like, I texted him. I was like, you really got to do that.
So sorry for interrupting.
No
The
worries.
camera is on, but this
Okay.
is Workplace Bullying Awareness Month, and we have 3 huge movers and shakers that were behind me. I had to stop the camera, if you don't mind.
Oh, don't worry.
We're here representing Express Employment Professionals. This is who rocks with over 10,000 followers on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
If you don't mind, I want to make sure we stop and introduce ourselves. We need to know who actually makes things happen.
Okay.
We're going to do ladies first.
Okay.
We have Miss Dawn Harrington here. Dawn, if you don't mind, if you're able to explain, come a little closer, sir. If you're able to explain a little about what you do in your organization and why you're here today.
Okay, so my name is Dawn Harrington. I'm the executive director of Free Hearts. We're an organization that's led by formerly incarcerated women that provides support, education, and advocacy to families impacted by incarceration. I'm here for this event because it really means so much to me to empower the incarcerated community. And actually, when I first came home, one of the first places I went to was Express, because Express is somewhere that is friendly to people that are formerly incarcerated. So I do want to say thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for the work that you all do.
And I'm going to say Miss Harrington is a true mover and shaker. Not only will you see her in the Metro offices, but you will see her on Capitol Hill. And actually, we have some videos in the past where she was on Capitol Hill doing some advocacy work for the reason why she's here right now. So much respect to you.
Thank you.
True mover and
Thank
shaker
you.
here.
Thank you.
We also have the doctor. The doctor. And you guys, you already know who he is, but we just want to stop and recognize Dr. Sedgwick. Long time mover and shaker in the community. If you don't mind, what brought you here today? Explain a little bit about your background and what the message is to take home for community residents, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, I'm here today to talk about the abandoned box movement that we worked on in 2015, and to really convince or get Metro government to remove the box off applications that ask if you've been incarcerated. And a year later, we worked on the state legislation with then Representative Brenda Gilmore, now Senator Brenda Gilmore, to do the same. So I worked with these 2 fine people, Don and Terrance, on that initiative, along with a number of other volunteers. So I'm here to talk about that and learn from others.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We're going to try to keep the cameras rolling while we're speaking, because behind the box, also the work that Don does, these are things that we don't have enough time right now to get into, but we have to have separate conversations and get more into that. Behind the box is huge. Not the best for last, but it's those behind the scenes that make a lot of things happen. I met Terrance 4 years ago when I was running for city council, and he had just stepped on the scene. And he told me what he was going to do for the community and for himself. 4 years and some change of months later, here we are again. And this gentleman actually contacted me to invite me to serve on the panel for this event. So if you don't think that this is real, all you gotta do is put in your work and things take care of themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Terrance Atkins.
Thank you very much for coming.
It's my pleasure. And this gentleman here is about his business. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Cut it out.
You gotta come correct. Terrance, if you don't mind, what got you involved and motivated for this particular event? And what, with your experience and expertise, what is the biggest message that we can take away from what's going on here today?
What got me involved in it is Miss Arlene Martin over there, who had the vision, who had the ideal for this was Bullying Awareness Month, and what she wanted to do was she wanted to bring some attention to the discrimination and the bullying that goes on in the workplace for those who have criminal backgrounds and workers that are not able to get a job. So that affected me directly. I was directly affected by that, so I had to get involved in this and get back to get that message out there. And this is so important because we're empowering those who have been discriminated against, who have criminal records, to give them a fair opportunity that everybody deserves.
Absolutely. And you hear, this is such a unique topic because you hear about employment, individuals getting jobs, but when it comes to actually once you're working and the workplace bullying and how powerful that is as far as politics, and just to be able to speak about that, and that's why I'm standing here to make sure more employers are aware of what's going on and can be more compassionate, they see things from all perspectives as a true leader, so we're going to get with Miss Arlene Martin as well. I've got to connect with her. I see she's busy, but we got to stop the camera if you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, and first of all, Terrance already gave her a shout out, as far as recognizing, but Miss Arlene Martin Norman, huge mover and shaker. We had a chance to meet through Express. And actually, I had a chance to learn about workplace bullying overall. I never even heard of it. I never even conceived it. And when she came in to meet with myself and Express owner Jason Patrick, it was eye-opening. And I knew Jason, as an owner, also had just the heart to say, hey, we need to make sure that we get this message out to the employers that I'm working with. So here we are today. Jason couldn't make it, but he's here in spirit. And his wife, Christy. Arlene, if you don't mind me asking, why is it so important for residents and businesses, even elected officials, as far as what's going on?
Because it covers all avenues of life. I am a target. I was working for state government and found myself being targeted by my director.
Wow.
And the system that was in place did not address his behavior because they really weren't sure how to do it. And so down the road, the law was passed, and I just felt that it needed to have some community awareness because a lot of people, even managers, were not aware of this new law. So that's what motivates me to come out and make sure that workers, communities, schools, children, parents, they become aware of their rights, that this law gives additional protection for all employees, the school system have it. So that's what we want to make sure, to get the word out.
And I'm sure as this young man is waiting patiently, I know it's heavy. It sounds like, and we're assuming, if the leaders in both the public and private sector were aware, we're given the benefit of the doubt that they would make the necessary changes externally and internally to make sure that it's a smooth experience for everybody, I'm sure. We'll give them that, put them to the test and see if they're accountable. But I know they're going to step up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you.
We'll go over at some point when you want to ask your question.
It's definitely impacting those in our communities who have been forgotten or discriminated against and have been pushed aside, or receiving mistreatment. We thank you. Can we give it a round of a hand for our panelists? We thank our panelists for those who came out tonight and taking the time. We thank you so very much for coming out today. And what we're going to do is we have two panelists, okay? So we have panelists one. We have two panels. We got the panel one. Thank you very much. They switching out. Thank you very much also. And you too as well, ma'am. Thank you. Can you please sit over there for me? Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Thank y'all so very much. Give them another round of applause. Thank you so very much for the switch. We give them a round of applause.
You just sit right there. That's OC, but she's panelist too, though. Thank you very much. But that's fine. You're okay. You're fine.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Dr. St. Franklin. It's called Safety. I work at Middle Tennessee State University. I know it sounds a little far away, but I actually live in the neighborhood, roughly about 3 or 4 blocks away, here in North Nashville. And I I also work with the Boxing Nashville Democratic Communities, which works on a few initiatives that relate to formerly incarcerated persons, justice-involved persons, and also do some work with the Tennessee and ACP as well, and other groups.
Hi, my name is Dawn Harrington. I'm the Executive Director of Free Hearts. Free Hearts is an organization that's led by formerly incarcerated women that provides support, education, and advocacy in organizing families impacted by incarceration. I'm a formerly incarcerated woman, and we also just passed our first state law that is community-based alternatives to incarceration for primary caregivers, and it went into effect on July the 1st.
I'm a 9-time felon and a 3-time college graduate. I have a charitable nonprofit where I give people second chances, and they're also felons and homeless men, help them change their lives and get on their feet and serve positive purposes like feeding the homeless program, blood drive to save lives, and things of that sort. So I get them out there doing positive things to help them, get education and an apartment. It's not about job application anymore. So that's just what we about it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And this neighborhood has the highest incarcerated zip code for people that were born between 80 and 86. That came out in a report last year, but my brother fell between those years, and he was formerly incarcerated. At the time when I was incarcerated, I was into my career. I used to work in the music industry for rap artists, and I was on a business trip with a firearm that was registered in my name here in Tennessee, but I was in New York. And when I was in New York, their laws were different. I was like, this is a big misunderstanding. They were like, no, this is not, you broke the law, and ignorance to the law is not a defense. Long story short, I ended up having to do a city year on Rikers Island. And when I came home, when I started my career, I actually went to MTSU, but I hadn't graduated yet. I was a semester shy, but I started my internship, and then I went into my career, and I was like not worried about it. I was like, I'll do it later. But being that I came home with a felony, then I was like, okay, well, let me go on and go back to MTSU and finish my degree, because now I have these additional barriers. And also I was thinking, I was thinking that, okay, I may want to do some different things with my career, some additional things, and I was like, I might, and I was coming back home for a little while, so I was like, let me get this bachelor's degree and then go back and get this master's, and it'll offset the fact that I have a felony. But actually, I did. I finished my bachelor's. I went and got a master's, and then I started looking for a job. And I went to things that were in my field, and this is even more of a reason why, this is important. So, Free Hearts was born, and we've been organizing ever since.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Finally, one day I was in jail, and I called home, and my daughter was like, why you wasn't in church Sunday? Right there, that my daughter is watching me now. She noticed that I'm not there. So when I got out that time, I started trying to go find jobs. I did go to college. I'm a 3-time college graduate. I got my associates in criminal justice, and I got my master's, and then I got a degree in my BA in psychology. I was the chick that was in the hood that all the guys come talk to and can trust and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I'm a good psychiatrist, might as well go get paperwork. So I did that because they trusted me, and so so I went to school for that. And then when I started looking for work after I got my master's, no one would hire me. I went down to McDonald's on Brick Church Pike, and the manager told me basically I was a 9-time felon, and he couldn't hire me. And then he also said even if he was to hire me, he felt that I was a threat where I might take his job because I had 3 college degrees and he had never even went to college. So he wouldn't hire me anyway because I was a threat and I was a felon. So, you know, I never could get any jobs. I did get a job at Miss Winters for a little while, but I ended up getting fired from there. So after that, I just started, I took my school checks. I was still going to school, got my school check, and I started flipping them. And that's a little bit about, you know, discrimination where I had to basically, as they say, get it out the mud. I really had to turn my legal mentality and turn it into legal, you know, by buying storages and cars and stuff like that. To me, it was like selling dope. It was flipping dope, but it was doing it legally. And so that's the mindset I had to do it. And now I have my own nonprofit and company and things that's sort of radio station, all that good stuff. So.
All right. And Stacey, we're going to come back to them. We also have questions for them. We're going to talk back and highlight some of the things that they're doing too as well. But thank you. Like they just said to us about them not being able to get a job out here because of their criminal background. Can you tell us something about Ban the Box? What got you involved with Ban the Box and how?
So in reality, 3,500 of our petitioners were just started. But because we had built so much momentum, and it was going on during the mayoral election, and the mayoral candidates were asked this question in every single race, every single forum, and so much momentum had been built around it, then we remembered back to this 2013 provision that the Civil Service Commission was given, and we said, well, we could just work with the Civil Service Commission to get a ban box provision. So we approached the Human Resources Director for Metro, who had heard about the ban box provision. There's an interesting twist here because I believe, I could be wrong, don't you come out of the church? St. Vincent, yeah. A person at St. Vincent was a Deputy Human Resources Director, and he was participating in the ban box drive at St. Vincent. So it was a lot of interesting
Sources that they offer. And some of the opportunities that they do offer, they can address that themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the mic, and I'm going to have the second panel to introduce yourselves. You'll take a couple minutes to introduce yourselves and let the part of the community know what you do, and then we'll come back and see what you're doing. And what work you're doing is directly helping those who have criminal backgrounds, criminal records.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey.
My name is Danavan Hylton. I'm representing a staffing company here in the North Nashville area called Express Employment Professionals. And so I serve as the Director of Community Marketing and Engagement, primarily directing local residents in the North Gadsden County area, which is downtown, North Nashville, East Nashville, Madison, White Creek, and Jolton, to the Express office for predominantly industrial-based and administrative positions. And so I'm here to listen, provide some solutions, as Express is a true advocate of getting everyone to work.
All right.
Additional cost to taxpayers. Now, our program offers a holistic approach to teaching life skills that are designed to assist men and women's separation and return to civilization life. You know, I shot drugs for 15 years of my life. I come from West Nashville. So it is extremely important that we embrace these individuals, and I think a good starting point is for I Want Change to be opened up a little bit wider. I was hoping that the mayor's office is here because, see, they don't put in place 10 Connect, 2 Gen Approach, and the Promise Zone, and all of these different things, but they're not coming to the community. We got a lot of resources right here, but they're not getting to the places that they need to get to. And also, we have to hold some of these individuals' hands. See, I come from the point of living in poverty in the projects in Preston Taylor, where all we had was water bugs, or everywhere that we moved, we got put out in 30 days. And here I am trying to take care of my younger brother and sister and picking furniture up off the street. So it got me into some trouble trying to help my mama survive while we were in poverty.
Convictions expunged. So we always get the information from Tamara Gibbons, who works with Judge Bell. The expungement sessions, we try to get as many people to sign up as they can. This is what is right now. So when you need driver's license, we give them that information. Here's where you can go. We have some funding that will help you get that back, except for if it's because of child support, then we can't. But anything else with the new law that passed, you can go back and get your driver's license. So we do help with that. We have a lot of programs. The programs are free. They also offer a stipend when you go for the construction, custodial, and also the call center training.
Because Panel 1 said that they have all of these degrees. So that's fine with these programs. And can I be real? Yeah. Is that okay? All right, so I'm just gonna say, so you get all these programs, and that is good, and these job opportunities, but what about somebody that still have a criminal record, have the degrees, have the training, have the skills, but still are discriminated against? We're about discrimination, right? And this is about bullying, and it's the truth that you can have all these, like me, I just applied for a job, I got a criminal record. I just applied for a teaching job too as well. They sent me resume, I went through all the steps. They told me they wanted me before they found out how to read it. So as soon as I got that, so they did my background check. Excuse me, Mr. A, sorry, but we can't hire you to the job. So all these programs y'all got, tell me, do y'all have something that can safeguard or protect those who have degrees like that they have to ensure that they're going to get these jobs that you are training and qualifying and sending them out to? Would somebody like to answer that question? Okay. It might be a little short, so.
I'll just yell at it.
You don't need no mic. We're tired of hearing all these little stories telling about what y'all gonna do, what's all good then, but we're gonna tell you facts, so give us facts.
Fact number 1, work opportunity tax credit. And someone mentioned earlier, I believe it was Miss Diane, a lot of the community people in the community and employers don't know about a lot of the services and programs, but a lot of employers don't know about a lot of the tax credits that are offered, especially small businesses. The work opportunity tax credit is a credit for hiring individuals with a criminal background, a veteran, someone who is on food stamps, someone who has a disability and receives disability paychecks. So this is an incentive to get someone back to work and for the employer to actually hire them because they can make up to $9,000 per year. The second one is the federal bonding program. The federal bonding program acts like an insurance on the employee. It protects the employer from anything from theft, embezzlement, anything that falls under the theft umbrella. So there's nothing at a loss to them, and it's up to $50,000, and it's completely free to the employer as a whole. I do have a lot of clients that actually have degrees. I have one that has 3 degrees. She's an HR specialist, and all she has is a DUI, and it's been a challenge trying to get her back into her field because she was in healthcare, and healthcare is an extremely hard field to get back into. She worked with drugs beforehand, and trying to let her know and let her down that getting you back into a field that deals with medication with a drug charge is a hurdle that I'm trying to overcome, but sometimes those hurdles simply can't be overcome without bringing down the whole house. When it comes to employers trying to convince an entire company that it's not even based out of Nashville, Tennessee, it's based out of New York City. I can't fly to New York City and talk to the CEO in person, but I can send him 100 emails and I can call his office every single day and bug him until he responds. Ban the Box has really helped us out a lot with that as well. Getting initiatives like that out into the community and really letting people know, letting employers know why you should hire someone with a background. Statistics, I love statistics. 600,000 people get released from jail and prison every single year. 95% of those who are incarcerated or in jail are going to be released at some point. And I let employers know, would you rather them being back in the community offending and victimizing someone else, or working and not being in prison or jail? We spend about $30,000 per inmate every single year. I'd rather spend that money educating someone and training someone than having them sit in a jail cell not doing anything. So I personally speak to employers and I tell them these statistics and tell them why it's so important that we should hire everybody, regardless of their background. If they're qualified, they should be hired. So it really would help me if you would tell any employer that you know, if you meet somebody like from Express Employment and explain the work opportunity tax credit and the federal bonding program, and maybe they'll have more of an initiative to hire those with justice involvement. And it really is word of mouth. Until we get more advocates that are voices in the community, like Governor Bill Lee, Kim Kardashian got someone actually out of prison. If it wasn't for Kim Kardashian, that poor woman would still be sitting in jail today, I believe.
Well, that's
That's a whole other story, but we need more advocates out there explaining to employers this is why you should hire somebody with justice involvement, because they're making an effort to change. If they're making the effort to change and you're not giving them the chance, then how are they going to change?
With halfway houses. So when they get in these halfway houses, they end up getting placed on jobs that pay them a little bit more than minimum wage or minimum wage. So when they're in there, this is how they continue to be oppressed. And while they're there, they have to pay $150, $200 sometimes a week just to stay in there. So where's their money? They have to pay for transportation. So how do they really get on their feet? And that's one of the things that you know, from the standpoint of most of the ladies that I refer to different places like Express, Workforce Development, and all, I'm gonna be real, because I deal with the ladies and I go with them sometimes to see what's going on in some of these job fairs, and then they advertise we will help a felony, but then they don't hire no felony. And then nobody follows up with that job to see how many felons. Give me some data. How many felonies did you hire? And then you utilize the tax credit for so long, and then you got rid of the person that you got that money, but then you got rid of them. So, and then some people go and they got attitudes and they don't know how to handle the job. But I'm just being real. They had a job fair at TSU. They had one just recently at Tribeca. So you got felonies, 5 felonies walk around to the table and ask people about their jobs. They said, well, we don't have felons. But you got Project Return on the other side, Men in Hearts and everybody there. And they know people need jobs, but they didn't bring no individuals to that job fair to help them get a job.
Companies and jobs to deal with the stuff in between. Wage theft, attacks on people from getting their businesses and licenses. All the stuff the state legislature emphatically, you know, this legislature emphatically, and as we told Bill Lee in the meeting, emphatically in the last decade has made a vicious attack on local governments from addressing those discriminatory practices.
And then we're going to have a couple more comments to keep it very brief, and then I'm asking questions, and then Ms. Right, then we got to make sure I have to close the market.
Okay, so 2 quick things. Number one, the nonprofit world is a good place to look, and for example, with the nonprofit that I started, now I have 4 full-time paid staff and about to hire a full-time paid lawyer and a couple of social workers. And so, and paid my people real good, full-time plus benefits. And so the nonprofit world is a place to look for employment. And second of all, we are starting a fund. It's called the New Economy of Tennessee Fund. It is in a partnership between Free Hearts and the Southeast Center for Cooperative Development. And for those of you that don't know what co-ops are businesses that are owned by the workers. And so within the next couple of months, we will have a fund available out of, we're located right here inside Magruder Family Resource Center for people that want to start businesses together and that want to start cooperative businesses, and we have a development center that can help you walk through the steps of the way, and we will have the funding to start those types of businesses. So, and we are focusing on formerly incarcerated people and also poor people and people from this community as people that will be eligible to receive funding from that fund. So if you're interested in that, also come see me afterwards. Thank you.
And it would alert the office immediately if you want to be a part of it. But our main focus is individuals who are incarcerated.
I'll also say for Express, the criminal background is fine as long as you don't have a felony of theft of 7 years or younger.
What about sex abuse?
That's it. It's all about skills outside of that.
So a criminal background is fine. You do need a valid driver's license, but other than that, strong.
Right. Y'all have nonprofits, so how do this participating in your nonprofit get some of the benefits? Because I know y'all have people from incarcerated do different things too as well. Both of y'all, so how do you get involved with what you're doing and participating in it? Is there criteria or what?
Yeah, just come see me afterwards. We're located right here in Magruder. If you call up to Magruder and ask for Free Hearts, they'll get you to us, and I can give you my information.
Yes, my sister Tawana's right there. She has business cards to give out for anybody that would like to come help volunteer, get information on floor as far as housing right now, but we change every day.
Okay, next question, real briefly, the biasness within being checked or monitored? So within discrimination, like within jobs and stuff like that, are y'all monitoring it? Like when y'all sending people out to these jobs and stuff like that, are y'all monitoring it? To see if these people got records out, they've been discriminated against or receive a fair opportunity. Very briefly, just answer that very briefly.
Express employment professionals, no, but it sounds like we need to. So I'll bring it to the table.
And question for the lady.
Giving us this information. Yes, you make a statement.
I don't think I had a chance to answer the question. My hand was up and missed. I'm sorry. That's okay. But the original question Bronson had was, what is the true solution?
Right.
And so, from a private sector perspective, we have to understand right now that it's really, I feel, personal when it comes to the hiring manager actually hiring an employee. And the way that you start to change those minds of the personal employee that's hiring, as we heard a very interesting perspective, the managers was very honest when they said, hey, I don't really want to hire you because not only are you qualified, but you might take my job. So that just blew me away, but that's very real. And so the way we actually start to make that change is really sharing the personal stories and the testimonies. And so I literally wrote all this information down. And I'm going to say in 30 seconds pretty much what the message is that I have to the private sector and the public sector when it comes to workplace bullying in regards to those with criminal background. And so, for example, sharing your personal stories and your experience, and she's right here with me, let you know about it. Personal stories and experience is what brings awareness, and actually having those actual conversations with mental evaluation, if you will, if you want to go that far, with those employers and those decision makers that have the person's, I'm saying directly, life in their hand when it comes to the paycheck, with all due respect, especially if you're qualified. And, you have a bachelor's and a master's degree in your field and can't work in Waffle House. I'm writing stuff down people said. You end up at a temp job or a day labor and you get shot out Express. That was a little different, but it's very rare, with all due respect. And you end up taking low pay and you end up winding up in construction sites. And so, these stories that we have recorded, now that's going to go into the private sector, to the public. And shout out to Bill Lee because he does focus on reentry, but these are real situations and testimonies where people have had their back against the wall, obviously qualified, did what they had to do, be innovative, outside the box, creative, to not only to create something new. So what more does one have to do, at this point, to be able to show that I can get the work done? And that's why I feel sharing the personal stories, and everybody's story is different, but sharing those stories in front of individuals and making them accountable through technology and all this stuff is a great step toward having individuals personally change their hearts and minds to give people every opportunity to work.
Thank you. Very brief.
Actually, every time I hear her say something, you say that.
I didn't say everybody.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm a minister, but I just really want to specifically say, everybody, everything is valid, but for me, God was the way. He opened up many doors that we sit here and say are closed.
And that's my story, and that's what motivated me to take it upon myself. Tennessee legislators passed a law called the Tennessee Healthy Workplace Act. I have some information back on the table that talks about that. I have a brochure from the Federal Department of Labor and Workforce that also talks about the equal employment opportunity laws, because what is covered under the EEO laws does not include bullying. And that was a hard lesson that I learned, because I filed 3 complaints on a supervisor who was my director for the Division of Equal Rights, or Civil Rights. The director of Civil Rights was my boss. And I brought my documentation because I didn't want you to think that I was making up something on someone who wasn't here to defend himself. But the situation happens to fellas trying to get a job. It also happens to people that do not have records on the job. So what we're doing, I don't have a date for another one, but I'm willing to work with my partners here. This is something I think we can go forward on. I appreciate your coming out, and if you need some information, it's on the back. My card is back there. So I didn't go into bullying a whole lot, but you can call me. That my card has my personal number on there, my cell phone number, and we will get the information to you. And as well as once we plan something else, we will make the planning period a lot longer so that we can have more time to get the word out. So thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Arlene and I work together a lot of times. I just had one question, and I said I was going to ask it to you on the phone, but I'm just going to ask you. Has a ex-felon ever sued an employer for discrimination or bullying on the workforce and won?
Good question. That's a good question.
No. Didn't win because it's an at-will state.
You're
wasting your time to do that.
That's the name of it. You talked about that one of the at-will.
Tennessee is an at-will state, and as long as that employer doesn't make his firing of you based on those protected classes, they can fire you. And that's what makes Tennessee a little bit different, because Tennessee in 2014 is the first state that passed that Healthy Workplace Act, and it kind of fills that gap. It started out just being public sector, now it's been expanded, the law has been expanded to cover private sector, and that does, in Tennessee, if you can show that they are doing something to you that has nothing to do with your performance, it has nothing to do with anything that's managerial or supervisory, then the Healthy Workplace Act allows the company, they should have a policy, and if you follow that procedure, then that individual that's alleged to have that behavior can be sued. And the company is in the best interest of employers to have such a policy, and there are elements that the policy has to cover, but it's in their best interest to have that, because if they don't have a policy, then they do open the door for them to be liable. Bullying is still relatively new, so there's not a lot of data research done on it, and there are even fewer cases, but it's a high bar. It's a high bar. And thank you. Thank you, panelists. I look forward to doing this again. I know it's on short notice. It's wonderful to meet you all. I hope we have a good relationship. Thank my co-facilitators. My former co-workers, Ms. Kristen Smith, Ms. Rochelle Carter, and that's Mrs. Hylton. And my daughter, my grandson came out to support me, so I appreciate it. Oh, you know Hylton, yes, that's my friend.
So we just wrapped up the panel discussion, but for the record, we are professionals.
All right.
Teron say Atkins. I said Atkins with a T. Teron said Atkins. Appreciate you, man.
And he still mispronounced it. And he still
Akins.
Strong A, my brother, strong. But his heart is in the right place. I know he know who I am. This is my brother here.
Yes,
so I know he know who I am.
And Teron, if you don't mind, like, how does this? Okay, it's over. It's knocked out. What are your thoughts? What is your vision? How can the community get involved? How can employers get involved?
Let's not stop here. We definitely cannot stop here. But all the information that was given out today was so much great information, so many great testimonies that was shared. We have to get this accessible to the people. We got to continue to have events like this. We got to take it to the community. There are jobs here, there are resources here, but the people need to know about them, and we got to continue to fight for those who are being discriminated against, because it's an ongoing thing. So the problem didn't start overnight, so it's not going to be in overnight. So it's something we got to definitely work towards as a community, as organizations, as businesses, as a team, as one. We can make it happen.
T, how can people find you online, keep up with you, follow you, and be a part? I know they're going to get this word and go follow you. How can they do that?
Yeah, you definitely can connect with me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Terrance Akins. I'm on Instagram as Vintage27 Dreams. I also have a company called Strategist 117. You can go on my website. You can check out my website, Strategist 117. I also have a nonprofit corporation, the NLYCW, and I have an office at the Magruder Family Resource Center too as well. So you can locate me that way, or you can come down to my office or email me, at strategiesforus.com, and I'll respond to you. Thank you very much.
This is 4 years. I've met this gentleman 4 years. If you don't mind, if I can say, okay, listen, listen, y'all. Like, the reason why Terrance gets so much respect from me. I came in from Nashville, pretty much building my brand. I've seen a lot of people in Nashville do a lot of talking, with all due respect. As soon as it gets a little pressure, they fold. With all due respect, this gentleman here, 4 years ago, I met him. I was running for city council. This gentleman had just been released at 34 years old. He had just served 17 years in prison, incarceration, 17 years. I met him like a day or two once he was released, and I said, hey brother, he was ready to go sharp. I said, hey brother, how you doing? He said, well, I'm here to find out what's going on, how I can be of help and be effective. I just got released after 17 years of incarceration. He was 34 years old, and I just asked this man 4 years later. Y'all know my story, y'all follow where I'm going, then I'm telling you, 4 years later, he just named all those things. After 17 years, there's no excuse, with all due respect. No excuse, and I just want to let you know, thank you so much.
No, thank you for everything you're doing for the community. Real stand-up brother, always out here in the community. It's not hard to find because you see him out here, so definitely utilize all his resources too. So thank you, my brother, for coming. And don't look like Scottie Pippen. I call him Scott. I call him this Scottie Pippen.
Hey, I might be better than him, so.
Raising beautiful children, him and his wife, raising great children. One of his sons did the prayer, after he saw the prayer they were doing. So it's a real testament of what type of man that you are, because your children are an example of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, Michelle, my wife.
And to the wife, shout out to the wife.
Monica, she's behind the scenes on the camera right now. And I'm going to challenge, again, this is brought to you by Express Employment Professionals, ExpressNorthNashville.com. I'm challenging Jason and Chrissy Patrick, the owner of the Express office, to meet with Terrance, to see where they can fit in, to support what he's doing, and be an employer, a supporting partner employer for Terrance as he grows his brand of connecting to the community, locating employers so that folks can get a job. We're putting that out there, and we look forward to setting up a time for them to meet. We're going to take a picture or do a video to let you know that progress does happen.
All right.
Thank you so much, Steve.
All right, thank you. Have a blessed night. Thank you very much.
Akins. That's Akins. Take it easy, y'all.